Hi everyone, welcome to In the Spotlight by GigFinesse, the series you come to find out all about the entertainment industry. I'm Bianca and I'm so excited to introduce my guest, Javier Soliz. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So you've booked over 120 shows with GigFinesse alone, which is pretty incredible. So you have a lot of experience playing shows. What is it like being an active gigging musician in Austin?
It's a grind. It's a lot of work. It's definitely a labor of love. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I love to play music. Love to play for people and bring that that happiness to them. Yeah.
Absolutely. How did you get into music?
It all started. My father knew about 3 chords, and he would sing, and usually at family gatherings, and would go to my aunt's house, and my uncle would play trumpet, and so they would have a little live show, and I was just a little kid, and I remember that was just kind of the genesis of it, and just really, wow, that is cool. And then after that, as I got older, got involved with church, and that became a foundation as far as praise and worship, running sound, and learning all the the back part of that. At that time, I wasn't even playing or I wasn't even a musician. I was just kind of setting up the mics for everybody else and running sound, going behind the board.
How old were you when you did that?
Probably about 14, 15, somewhere around there, and it just kind of went till I was about 26, and then 25, somewhere around there, and then I moved from Corpus to Austin and started doing it on the weekends, and then turned into full time. Yeah.
So when did you start really playing the guitar and playing an instrument?
Oh, that's playing guitar back when in I guess high school. I remember I played football in junior high, and I thought I was a real tough guy. And when I got into high school, where all the other students were a lot bigger and stronger and faster, and I would get hit, and I'm like, man, I want to pick up guitar because this is not for me.
Yeah.
So that's when I started really playing guitar and spending time with that.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Knew that I wasn't going to be an athlete.
Yeah, you're like, we need to change the hobbies.
Exactly.
Did your parents listen to a lot of music growing up?
Yeah, my dad introduced me to Ray Charles, Ben Crosby, the big bands, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin. I mean, all these guys. Javier Soliz, who's actually one of my dad's favorite singers, and so yes, there's always music around the house and stuff like that. Absolutely.
That's incredible.
And then when my dad's singing as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Do you sing together with your dad sometimes?
Man, no, my dad passed when I was about 24, 25, when I was young, and so I'll have like some videotapes of him singing, or there's some pictures of us playing together. When I was in high school, I was playing, he would sing, and at that time I wasn't even singing at all. I was just kind of hobbying, kind of tinkering with the guitar, but my dad was the bigger influence in my life as far as doing that.
When did you start really singing?
When I moved to Austin, I was with a country band here in town, and we ended up, he was going in one direction, and at that time I was just playing lead guitar and playing, and he goes, well, you're too bluesy, we're gonna go on this way, and so they ended up getting another guitar player, and at that point I said, you know what, I'm just gonna start my own band. And it just kind of went from there. And that was probably, I don't know, 18 years ago. Yeah, 18 years ago. Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
So yeah, and then just been singing ever since then. Yeah.
You mentioned Javier Soliz as well. Were you named after Javier Soliz?
Yes, actually, like I said, that was my dad's favorite singer, and I was named after him. And so he would always have his music throughout the house. Los Rejas No Matan, Borracho, Mi Tierra. These are some of his titles that he's recorded, and that if you look it up in Mexico, and usually with the older generation, they know who Javier Soliz is, but I'm not sure too much about the younger generation. Yeah.
Would you say he's like the biggest inspiration to you, or what artists have inspired you a lot?
Well, no. I appreciate his music, and like the guys that play with me keep pushing me, like, all right, you need to do some Spanish. You need to start doing some Spanish, and we got stuff in the works right now. But as far as now, we're not doing anything. But my inspirations are like the classics: Ray Charles, Muddy Waters, B.B. King. Johnny Lang, local artist, Woody Russell is another mentor and somebody I look up to very much so. Yeah.
I feel like Austin is such a great place to play music. There's so much music just everywhere, and you notice it even just walking down the streets here. It's incredible. How do you feel about music in Austin, and also people creating music in Austin?
No, it's great. It's becoming a melting pot. I mean, you go down the street, you want bluegrass, you got bluegrass. You want blues, you want blues. You want salsa, there's salsa. Or you want, Spanish, Tejano. It's all mixed in. So there's something for everybody.
Do you have a go-to spot that you like to go to, and also do you have a favorite spot you like to perform at?
Yeah. Maggie Mays, that's one of the one on 6th Street. They opened another location, Leander. Culinary Dropout, that's another great, because I mean these have built-in crowds, and those are really nice venues to play at. They got their own PA, and it's all top notch. Yeah. So those type of places are great.
That's very incredible. When you play a gig, how do you get ready for the gig? What's kind of your process?
Well, depending on where I'm playing, I like to make sure everything's set up beforehand. So I usually go up. If I have to provide my PA, I like to go up really early, make sure everything's good, the sound's going. So when I roll up, I just pull up my guitar and play. I don't have to, is this working? Testing, so all that needs to be set up beforehand. And then my home life, of course, that's always got to have to be on point, because I always try to sing with my heart, and that's how you're going to reach people.
Yeah.
If you sing from your heart, you're going to reach people from your heart. So if you're having a bad day, and it comes out in your playing. So and the majority of songs that I'm singing are love songs and stuff like that. And so my house is always it all starts from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people can relate to this, whether they're musicians or not, but just going into your career, your professional day-to-day life, and having so many other things be on your mind as well. Do you ever feel like you have to distance yourself in a way? Because I know you said like you try to keep it all intact, all good, but everyone has those off days.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why music's just so powerful to me. When I'm feeling sad, I'll pull music, or I'll play a song, and it just kind of gets me through that. And whether it's a heartbreak, or whether I'm playing a heartbreak song out there, and somebody afterwards like, man, I felt that was like, wow, like, and that's what I try to do. I try to do just every time, just kind of play what's in here and what I've been through and what I've connected through these songs, and just kind of relay them through the way we play them.
Yeah. It must be such a great feeling as well when you perform and people come up to you after and like, that really touched me.
It's rewarding. It's definitely satisfying, and definitely like, oh wow, this is why we're doing this, because a friend of mine told me, man, if you reach people with your heart, you're going to touch them.
Yeah.
And with their hearts, you know what I mean? So I always try to keep that in mind when I'm performing or playing, to always just keep that channel open.
Yeah, absolutely. That's as a musician, as an artist, I feel like your life can be very different from like going a corporate route as well. How do you balance your professional life and your personal life? Man,
my wife is amazing. She's a lot of the songs that I play, it's because they're inspired by her. So a lot of the love songs that I'm playing, or even when we get into a fight or something, or I'm just, I'm just kind of music. I pull everything from music, and music's a big part of our home life, and laughter. Man, we laugh a lot too.
That's very sweet.
That's a big cornerstone of our household, of our relationship, and I really think that's the secret to our success. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Over your career up until now, what do you think is some of the best advice you've picked up in the music industry?
Don't sell yourself short. And the way a man thinks in his heart, so he is.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. You've been working with GigFinesse for a while as well. How did you start working with them, and at what point in your career? How did it kind of change?
Man, it was during the pandemic, I believe, and I decided to do this full time and just get in there. And again, like the guy who plays with me, Woody Russell, and he's a mentor of mine, and kind of took me under his wing and kind of showed me some things on how to get this thing started. So when I started doing this full time, I told Woody, I said, Woody, man, I'm gonna try to get a booking agent. And he was like, man, be real careful about that. That's, they just go over there and they're just gonna, you do all the work, and they and kind of just heed me toward those things there. And but it's when I went ahead and got them signed up and got us signed up, and it opened us up to so many other venues, and it was a big plus. So now when I say, hey, do you like it? Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're so being with GigFinesse has definitely opened up doors for us. And like you said, we're doing 120 shows a year. So that's great for, doing this, starting it full time, and then just starting off like that. So the big key to that was GigFinesse, absolutely.
What do you think, like, as an artist, is the biggest benefit of really working with GigFinesse?
Just they got their stuff together. It's as far as the platform, it's real easy. It's headache free. We found a gig for you. All right. Oh, look, this is a cool place. Yeah, and everything's written out. Yeah, it's no hassle. You know what I mean? Everything's laid out there, and it just made it really easy. And like I'm an old musician. There's a lot of young musicians. I consider myself one of the old guys. But knowing that, I know what gigs are good, what gigs are to stay away from, and GigFinesse has just made that really easy as far as to transition to a new venue and be able to play there and have everything set up and ready to go. Yeah.
That's really cool. If you think about maybe like the next year even, what are kind of your personal goals as a musician?
Last year, my goal was to hit 100 shows. We busted that. This year, I want to do 220 shows, festivals, bigger venues, things like that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Do you think you still want to stay mainly in the
Austin
Austin
and that's
market?
another great thing about GigFinesse. Because of them, I'm able to get into the Dallas market, San Antonio market. I'm able to do a little Texas mini tour, and I tell them, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that, and oh yeah, we got venues there, we got venues here, and they just kind of lined it up for me, and it's been fantastic. Yeah, it's been great being with them. Yeah. So
you've played a lot of shows, and you have a lot of experience being up on stage in front of people. Do you ever get nervous before a gig?
Yeah, absolutely. There's times where, like this last Sunday, I had to play back in Corpus. Always playing to my home crowd, because those guys were there with me in junior high when I'm just walking around with a guitar, and they've never, you know what I mean? So going back, I want to make sure everything's right, everything sounds good. So there are time to times I do get nervous, but there's times where I just want to get up there and really do my thing, and with the confidence of doing 100 in 20 shows, you know. So get nervous every once in a while, but not often. Yeah.
How do you kind of deal with the nerves before a show?
Making sure everything's right, the sound is right, and then just breathing and just, you know, I usually, one of my routines is I'll eat a little thing of Pringles or potato chips. And what that does, it coats your vocals. So when you're there, you could actually hit some notes, do the crooner stuff.
I love it to see the stock price go up after you say this. Everyone's like, I gotta do this too.
It's in fact, Woody's the one who hit me to that. And,
oh, really?
And he says, yeah, it's kind of an industry. He goes, when they're trying to record and they couldn't hit that note, well, here, try this. And ever since he told me that, I do that or apples. That's another great thing that I've learned.
That's pretty amazing. How do you also take care of your voice doing so many shows and just your health overall like that?
Man, plenty of water. Just drink lots of water, stay hydrated, and sing from your diaphragm. You know, not from your throat. You know what I mean? Basically, that's it. That's I haven't had any, you know, but I think it's because I'm always drinking water and not going out there raspy, or I may have a raspy voice, but not really. It may sound raspy, but it doesn't feel raspy. You know what I mean?
So are there any upcoming projects, anything you're working on that you're very excited about, that you're looking forward to?
Yeah. We're always trying to put some new music together, revamp our set list, curate it with some classic songs that people love to hear and to jam to, and so that's always adding on to it, and just refining those songs that we do now.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as right now, just a collection of songs that we're kind of putting together, and this year hopefully trying to put out a CD. Yeah, trying to put out something that takes me back all the way back to my dad, and just kind of give him some honor and homage to him. Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's very sweet. When you play all these gigs, how do you curate your set list? How do you choose what songs you really want to go with?
Well, when you're doing a venue, you don't always, like, I gravitate towards the slow 6/8 songs, love songs, heartbreak songs. Again, I've learned from my buddy Woody is don't do that because you don't want to put everybody to sleep. So when I'm doing my set list, it's got to be like a wave. Up songs, slow songs, up songs, slow songs. And so using that formula, it just really kept us coming back. You know what I mean? We're not a group that just kind of puts everybody to sleep, or we're not a group that just kind of blows you out. It's just kind of a mellow, kick back. You get to enjoy your wine, your drink, and just hear the classics.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
That's incredible. Do you have a set list you kind of like to stick to, or do you really switch it up?
Oh no, yeah, you have to switch it. It has to. If not, you'll get old real quick. As far as all right, we need somebody else in there. You know what I mean? So I'm always trying to put 2-3 new songs a week into the set list and mix it in, and the guys that I use are just top shelf musicians. So, all right, guys, Kiwi, let's go, boom, shuffle, and they're there with me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I love your style. Like, you have a very specific style and very unique, a very, very unique necklace that is really incredible. How did that come about?
If you're talking about my necklace here, this my wife gave me for Valentine's. So it's a squash blossom necklace, and a lot of the stuff my mom, she's very thoughtful in her gift giving, and so we've been together for about 10 years, and so through the 10 years, I'll have a little pick holder, and it's for my picks, and it has my name on it, and on my pedal board, there's a little frog that she bought me that I have it right there. So it's always with me. It's always when I'm on stage. She's, you know what I mean, just the just little things like that I'm I got to have with me. I can't start unless I have that, or I have this, or I got to have that. Or there's another thing that's anytime I go to a show, she always I always have to hear from her, have a good show. And once that, and then I can go out and play and do my thing, and good or bad, it's going to be good. It's, you know what I mean?
That's
so
very sweet.
that is something since we've been together. That's like routine. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's whatever happens, even if we're mad at each other, have a good show.
That's adorable.
but it's something that I always do before a show. Yeah.
That's very sweet. So, as we talked about before, like you have a lot of experience playing shows. You've booked just with GigFinesse over 120 shows, which is very impressive. From your first professional gig to now, how has your performance changed and how have you grown?
Man, I remember my first performance, and I don't think it was a professional performance, but I remember we were playing at the Harley Davidson up here in Round Rock, and it was a big crowd, and it was during Harley Fest, or I don't know, all the motorcycles were in town, and I remember I got up and I was doing the song, and the lyrics just totally slipped, so I'm just there and I'm stuck, and I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? So that was my very first performance that I remember screwing up that bad, but that hasn't happened since then. Now it's more, I'm more relaxed. It's more of, I'm not nervous, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm more of like, yeah, let's do this. This is fun. Like, I need to sing and I need to play. Yeah.
Do you have all your songs memorized when you go up on stage?
No, I do not. No, I do not. It amazes me when I see like Del Watson. He's a country artist here in town. That guy would do 4 hours straight, no set list, no nothing, just popping outside. It like just amazes me.
Yeah.
No, I have my iPad, and so I kind of have my little cheat notes on.
Yeah.
It. Absolutely.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, that makes complete sense as well. It would be
But
very
there's
impressive.
artists out there that
Yeah.
amazes me that they just they could just roll with that. Yeah.
But I feel like it's good to also have that because it gives you that calming.
Yeah. Because there's times where if I don't have it, I mean, I could just call out songs and play.
Yeah.
But then, like at the end of the night, oh, I forgot to do that one. Oh, I need to do that one. Oh, I need that. So it just not a cheat sheet. Just kind of lets me go where to go with a song list, and then also when I'm reading the crowd, where are we going? You know what I mean? If there's a birthday, I ain't gonna do a bunch of sad songs. You know what I mean? Just kind of read the room a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good. Do you interact with the crowd a lot, or do you tend to?
I try
Just go
to. Just you know, especially if I'm doing a real tourist place like Maggie Mae's, you get people from all over, and again, I like to, hey, what part of the country are you from? You know, what song you want to hear? Or, oh, I got something for you here, and just kind of do that route. You know, go that route with the trying to read the audience and so forth.
Yeah, I feel like that's incredible, and that also makes you such a good artist if you get to do that, and you get to interact, you get to read the room, and then also, like you mentioned before, really touch people, and I think reading the room is such a big part of that.
Yeah, for sure.
So I have one last question for you. You mentioned before some really good advice in the industry. If you could talk to your younger self and give your younger self a piece of advice, what would that be?
Be persistent. I mean, but I've always that's always been ingrained in me. Even when I wasn't doing this full time, I was always in sales. So, you know, just knock on the door. You know, I mean, just cold calling me. That's just part of who I am. But then now that I'm doing this, I kind of just implement that into what I'm doing now. Which whether it's trying to get into new venues or new bandmates, you know, new things that we're trying to put together and so forth. But the advice I would give, just what I'm doing now, just play with your heart. Play with your heart, yeah.
I love that. That's really amazing. Thank you so much for taking
Thank
the
you.
time to talk with me today. It was
Thank you
incredible
so much
talking
for
with
having
you.
me. All right.